Then Jesus was led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. After fasting for 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. The tempter came to him and he said, "If you're the Son of God, tell these stones to become bread." Jesus answered, "It is written, man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God." Matthew 4, verse 1 to 4. Demystifying the Holy Spirit. We need a better writing. Yes, the right we are using is somehow poor. So today we see why we need the Holy Spirit through Jesus Christ. And from here, when the Holy Spirit comes upon your life, he leads you into the wilderness. And this is what many of us, we really don't understand. Why, after having an encounter with God in a very brilliant manner, the first thing that comes is wilderness. You will notice many other times the Holy Spirit will not introduce you into sweetness of life first. He takes you to the wilderness. After they came out of Egypt, he took them into the wilderness for 40 years. And when he was calling Moses, he told him, "Go and tell Pharaoh to give you permission so that you can come to the wilderness and hold a feast for me, worship me with sacrifices for 3 days." And that was a board of contention between Moses and Pharaoh. And to confirm that it was true, when God used force to liberate his people, he took them straight in the wilderness, and he stayed with them there for 40 years. Why does the Holy Spirit lead you to the wilderness? Wilderness is called the school of God. Once the Holy Spirit comes upon you, the first thing he will do is he will take you to the school of God. He will take you to a place whereby he will have a space, a free space, where now it is you and God, teaching you, training you, equipping you, empowering you, revealing things to you, making you have a better understanding of how God works. He takes you to the wilderness, and the wilderness is what we call the school of God. And many people, they really don't understand that stage. Number 2, he says to be tempted by the devil. When the Holy Spirit comes upon you, this is funny, he takes you where Satan is to test you. Notice here, wilderness is a school of God. See you? But the tutor, the lecturer in that school is Satan himself. Because he's saying to be tempted by Satan. And this has made many people backslide. This has made many people not understand how God works. But when the Holy Spirit comes upon you, the first thing you notice, once the Holy Spirit has come upon you, the first thing that you shall see is introduction of Satan in a very high level approach. Instead of introducing you to demons, to sorcerers and witches, he brings Satan himself, because he is the tutor in the school of God. Because if you look here, the tempter is telling Jesus, if you're the Son of God. So God is using Satan to make Jesus understand his identity. Did he really know that he's the Son of God? Of course he knew. But this was vital and very necessary, because it now shows us Jesus Christ is entering in the ministry as who? Number 2, turn these stones to become bread. Look at the approach of the devil. He will come through your material life needs, stomach. And this is the same test he used against Adam and Eve. He tested them through the food, and they fell. So the Holy Spirit will bring you to a place where Satan has access of you. Why? So that through that, if you conquer Satan, then you go into the ministry, you know already you have won the battle. So the ministry will be easy to function, because already you have defeated the master of wickedness. So if the master is under your feet, what about his juniors? What about his operatives? What about his workers? They are already defeated, because their master is your subject now. The reason why the Holy Spirit will introduce you to Satan, so that you can conquer the strong man, and you become the stronger man. Number 3, he is saying to be tempted by the devil after fasting 40 days and 40 nights. When the Holy Spirit comes upon you, he introduces hunger for God. Since Jesus was born to this age 30, we don't see him fasting anywhere. I believe he was eating. I don't know. I don't have the history. It is not recorded. But the moment the Holy Spirit came upon him, the first thing that was introduced in him was hunger for a closer relationship with God. And that hunger is made manifest in fasting. So when the Holy Spirit will come upon you, you will notice, you will start fasting, and you will desire wrong fastings. 40 days. 40 days. And this is what is lacking in the church. People are fasting with the flesh. But you're supposed to fast with the Holy Spirit, so that there can be an impact. Because when you fast with the Holy Spirit, you generate power. That is why Jesus came back in the power of the Holy Spirit. So how did the Holy Spirit come upon Jesus Christ? Here, we just studied yesterday, and we saw it was through baptism that fulfills all righteousness. That is in Matthew 3 and verse 15. And number 2, through John the Baptist, that is through a spiritual father. You need to put yourself as a spiritual father. Number 3 reason we need to highlight here is the identity of Jesus Christ. He is a Son of God, and the Son of God cannot walk without the Holy Spirit. He must be with the dimension of his Father. So when we arise and walk in our identities as a son of God, actually the Holy Spirit is the one that adopts us into God as the sons of the living God. You are